Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Card Craft. Thanks for joining me again today. I want to show you a little project today, and we're going to go through it and create the same project, hopefully to make things a little bit quicker. I have pre-cut everything out. Now this is a design team project for WhichCraft Do You Do, which is an Australian company. They sell stamps, stencils, all sorts of bits and pieces, handmade ephemera, but they also do digitals. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you'll know that I've talked about these guys before because I love their stamps that they've created. My number stamps are with theirs and a few other bits and pieces. They've asked me to be part of their design team this year, and this is the first project that I've come up with their digitals. Now, the two digital sets that I've used, or kits that I've used, are the Pages Pack, set 1. It is 10 pages, and they are beautiful. They're just all my colours. I love them. Look at these. These ones have been double-sided printed, ready for another project, but it's the full set here. We will be using 3 of the pages out of this one for this project. The other kit that I've used is their Mix and Match Mini Journals Kit 1. There are 28 pages in this, and they're beautiful. There's just so much available in this. I've only got a few pages printed out here, but you'll see some of the other pages that I've used. And again, I've probably used 4, maybe 5 pages from this one, and I will use this over and over. It's just all my colours. It's botanicals, it's butterflies, it's dragonflies. It's all in these vintage colours, sewn elements on there and all. So without further ado, I'd like to show you this project. Now, this little folder, flip folder, I don't know, still working on a title, has a cigar band on the front. So we'll just lift that off, which is this one. The bands come in this kit as well. We've got a little pocket in the front. This flips up. So we've got top piece here. You could put journaling on there if you like. We've got down here, and then we've got another little journal in here. Okay. How's that? Isn't this beautiful? It's just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So, what we're going to do is get this guy done. I'm going to set this one aside for now. The base is a manila folder. You know how I love working with my manila folders, so I have pre-cut it out, but I'm just going to set them back in here so that you can see what it is I've used from a manila folder. Okay, there's my scraps down here. So I've cut 2 pieces from this. I've cut one, so this is the folded side, so that I've used that as my folds for both the little journal and the flip to start with. So on the folded side, we've gone in 3.5 inches and down 6.5 inches, which has given us our basic flip for the first bit. Our little book is then down the folded side again, 5.5 inches, and then in 2.5 inches. Okay, so, and here's our little journal. So I can pop the rest of this away. That's our base. I'm just going to set that over there. Right, so there are our 2 bits. What we're going to do is work on this one to start with, and we're going to cover this. Okay, now because it is now 13 inches from here to here, it's not going to fit a sheet full up. So we're going to have a join up here. The sheet that I want to use for this, I'm just going to pull over my bits for this. This one, and I've trimmed my borders off. I've just printed them straight out. They've got the border. I've printed my borders out. So this is page 7. out of the kit, and I want to use that on the inside. This is what I want to use on my outside. Isn't that beautiful? Got a little bit of a shadow this morning. I've got no natural light because it's very early in the morning and it's not daylight yet. And this is page 1 from that kit. Okay, so there's page 1. We're going to use that one. And we're going to use page 7 for our inside. So I'm just going to set those ones back aside. Put that one over to there. Now, this one I'm going to cover, and I'm going to go down that way because I love all these. They're very grungy. Not that you'll see a great deal of them once we're done, but you see a little bit of them. So I'm actually going to go that way with this one, and then I can trim off the rest of that. So to start with, I'm just going to ink all of that. I'll rub out that now. I'm fairly certain it won't show through, but just to be on the safe side, grab my glue sheet, and I actually need some new glue. Right, got my glue stick, brand new one for this. Oh. Right, so we're on the front of that. So just give this a really good glue all the way around. If you want to use your double-sided tape, use double-sided tape for it. I find the glue stick's a bit easier because it gives you that little bit of wiggle room. And as I want this, I'm going to glue this from the bottom. Okay. So again, I don't need to worry about it too much because I can trim it all off. So if I go over everything, putting that down, give it a good push. Make sure it's over the edges. Right. And that's on there, like so. And now I can just trim it straight off. But I'm just going to trim straight up there to start with. Taking that one off. Now I will be doing a little bit of inking around these. Look at that. Put a new blade on too. Because when they're gluey and they're a little bit wet, if you're using a blade and your blade is not 100% sharp, it will want to tear the paper a little bit because it's wet with the glue. So for something like this, it's always wise to have a nice, fresh, clean blade. And there should be a little bit down there, I reckon. Just a tiny little bit. Just to clean it up a bit. Right. So there's our front. And now, of course, we want to do the same with our back. So just going to look at, and I might actually go that way. Yeah, I'm going to go that way for this one. Okay, so I'm going to sit that down there so that that will glue right there. Try not to get on too much of that glued area that I've just done. Give it a good glue. Like so. And I'm just going to sit that down there and then trim it up. Turn that over again. Give that a good push. Make sure it's all the way down. Oh, there's Bertha. All right. Follow up there. Open it out just in case you've got a bit of glue going on, and trim that one up. That's a piece of scrap that I will use later on. Trim that piece first. and down there. It's so much easier when you're already using manila folders. I love them for things like this because that fold is already there. I've just got to cut them into the sizes that I want. So, straight down. All nicely done. See, that's just beautiful. The grunginess on that, the colours that are with it are just gorgeous. So I'm just going to very quickly go around just to make sure that I haven't got any white edges. So I'm not giving it too much of an ink on the edge. Oh, frog in my throat. But it just gets rid of that white core colour that you've got going on the edges from where you've cut it. Right, so that's our outside. We need our inside done the same way. Now, with your inside, again, we're not going to get that full length there. So what we want to do, put you there, is do the two pieces again. But because you don't really want the two edges meeting completely, what will happen is that they'll curl a little bit. So what I tend to do is fold it over and just give that edge a little bit of an ink, so that if they don't quite meet, I've still got that strip of brown as though I've inked it. Does that make sense? I'm hoping. Right, so page 2. Did I get it out? I've already got it out. Page 2. Again, it's not going to make that much difference. And I might just go there. Yeah, I'll just go there and then I'll do the other piece. So, so I want one. And we'll just go as close as we can up the top. If you're concerned about it, put a little piece of scrap up there to start with. But as we're going to be gluing something on there as well, it's not that big a deal if you run your glue over that edge. Just do want to ink that edge before I put him down. Turn him sideways because I want to match. So I'm going over my edge here in case something's not been cut straight, which is highly possible for me. And I just want to make sure that that's going to go down without lifting it over. Right. Trimming that bit off. Straight up there. And my knife, which has still got a little piece from the last lot on it. Get rid of that. It does help when your blade is very, very sharp and new. See, I'm being good. I'm popping these straight into my little scrap bin beside me, and the little bits are going into my bin. Very proud of myself. Mind you, if you'd been here an hour ago, at 5 o'clock, it would have been a different story. I had stuff everywhere. Right. So I'm thinking I want that bit down there. So I'm just going to ink, wrong one, that one. Ink my edge that I can't really get to later on. And this one's going to sit in here, like so. Getting very glueyed. Glueyed, is that a word? It is now. Right, the ink that I'm using for this one is my dark ink, which is my Gathered Twigs in the Distress ink. I just found that it worked really well with, especially with the mix and match kit, the journal kit. Oh yes, I have inked that edge, only very lightly. Right, popping you there. Oh, not popping you there. See what I mean about how I may not have cut straight, so I'm going to go over a little bit. That's better. And that's why I like a glue stick, because it allows me to do that. If I've done that with my double-sided tape, oh no. Right. Put that one over there. I love these papers. They're just so beautiful. I will leave the links to their YouTube. I will also leave the links to their digitals page on their website. Go to their website, have a look. The link I leave will be for the digitals, but from there you'll be able to go into the rest of their website and have a look at all their stamps and stencils and all sorts of bits. All right, so the inside of that can be inked. I will also, if I can track it down, they did quite a while ago, and I can't remember which one of the girls actually did the tutorial on the mini journal for this mix and match kit that I'm going to be using, but they've done it as an actual journal, a mini journal. So that's really worth looking at as well, especially if you're getting this kit, because it gives you two versions of the one kit. Right, that folds over nicely. Nothing is fouling that centre bit because I've left them just a little bit apart, like so. Okay, so this is my front. That's my back, yes, because I wanted all of that. So, to start with, let's have a look at decorating our front. Now, I have studiously gone through all my little bits and cut out. Look at what I've done, so that I've got them in their sections. That is my front. Whoops, something's coming out. Yep. So this is my front, which is what we want to use. So all these little bits. Now, I'm using, and move that, move that, move that. Here we go, here we go. All right, see this? This is one of the pages in this mini journal kit. So Mix and Match Mini Journals Kit 1. There are 28 pages in this. This is page 17. You've got all your words, you've got all these bits and pieces, all these wonderful numbers and labels and everything else. So we're going to use this one. We are also going to use, for my front cover, we've got this, which is page 10. So this one is called Elements. This one is called Kit Bits. So you can see, if you were using it as the mini journal, there's your, your 4 pages, so front and back and all the rest. But these are such a beautiful size for covering something like this. So what I've actually done, don't need that one just yet. In here, this is my front cover, my little baggie. So there is this one, and I also have this one. So I've used the 2 of those. I've already inked them, so I'm just going to pop one in here and one in here, like so. All right, so they can just be straight glued down. Straight glued down. You know what I mean. It's early in the morning. So it's just a matter of layering. All your elements from this journal kit will match. So there's so many pages. Everything will mix and match. They go together beautifully. A pile of glue on that. Good thing I'm just in my tracky bums, and I can just wipe it straight on those. Not in my work clothes yet. I'll get changed into my work clothes after this. Head off to work. Come home. Finish fixing all this up. And then it should go up on... It will. It'll go up on the Sunday. So today is Thursday morning. And I'll be seeing and talking to you on the Sunday. So we were just doing a straight edge there. That one's down there and that one's down there. It just gives us a little bit more for our background, okay? So, as I said, I've cut out all my elements for this one. And I love all these little bits and bobs that are with it. You know me. I love all these little labels and, you know, numbers and words and everything like that. So it's just a matter now of playing around wherever you want them to go. Okay. And I'm wanting this one I'd like to have as a label, as a pocket. So we're going to pull out our other glue. Should be this one. And I should have had it tipped over. Didn't even think about it. Awesome, Carls. Let's see how we go. Make sure we're up the right way. Come on. Oh, here it is. Right. So just around our 3 edges. Down this one as well. Oops. Got him. And again, so I'm going to, so nothing is evened at this stage. Do you see what I mean? How it's all just slightly dropped down. I'm trying to get that nice and straight. Sorry, I'll move my hand. It's all just dropped down, and you'll also see when I sit it on, I've pushed it in just a little bit, which makes it easier for something to go in, because I'm just going to pop that one straight in like that. I'll leave it for a little while just in case my glue is not dry. And again, I'm going to, so everything is slightly offset. Everything is straight. Don't get me wrong. None of it's on crooked. You could put them on crooked, on slanted, and all the rest. But none of it is that. It's all just straight. Oh, I'm getting glue everywhere. New glue, you see. But they're all just slightly interspersed over each other. So I've got one of these. Oh, the butterflies in this kit. The butterflies are awesome. There are so many butterflies in so many different forms, but I will show you a trick later on with the butterflies too. So I'm going to pop my butterfly down here, and I want, because let's face it, this is me, I'm going to pop some cheesecloth on it just to give it a really old look. And this is just coffee dyed cheesecloth. When I can find an end. When I can find an end. Here we go. I'll just chop a piece off that one. And then I can scrunch it up a little bit. Put those scissors back because I don't need them. So just work it out. As in, give it a little bit of a tug here and there. It just loosens that weave even further. And then what we're going to do... I got so much glue all over me. I'm just going to sit it in, work out vaguely where I want it. Make sure that that's out there. See how I'm scrunching that? So that when my butterfly sits on, I had a little bit going on. Might be a bit too long, so chop a little section off. Like that. Because I'll use that one. Right. And now I've got this. Just going to sit it in there. Yeah, that's a better size. Right. So, what I always do with mine is use a bit of double-sided tape. Just a little bit. And then my butterfly can actually pick up the cheesecloth, and I can work my way, and then I can put them both down the same way. There's one. to just scrunch this bit again, work out where I want it. Like that. So now my butterfly's hanging on to that. See what I mean? Put a little bit of glue on that one. So now it's 25 minutes in and I've used 3 different types of glue. That's strange for me, isn't it? Not. All right. I'm just going to give these slight dabs. Oh, I'm so messy this morning. Find a non-glued area. Glue all over me. Set that on the angle that I want it. Yep, I've got glue everywhere. Right, last thing I want is a little bit of... So I want my butterfly, which I think is here. That one's my butterfly. And I'm just going to glue that, but I'm going to pop it on just... Now, I could pop it on a little piece of the page pack, but I want just that plain colour. So here's just a piece of coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to stick him on, and then I'm just going to tear around it like so. Down like that. I'll ink around that one just to really define the edges. So might help if I put the glue on the other side. What do you reckon? I know I've got a lot of glue on me already, but so there's our front cover done. That'll just tuck into there like that. So let's open up our inside, and up along here we've got, I'm going to make some room, and again we're going to use our sheets, and we're going to use this sheet again. Okay, so find that bit. That'll be this packet right here, because I've got all these little packets so that I can hopefully work out what I'm doing. All right, so I've got this one, and again we're just going to sit these in. Am I in shot? Yes. All right, so 3 little layers, the same way we did the other one, just so that they're interspersed. As I said before, you could do journaling up on this side if you wished. It's up to you whether you want more journaling or more, I don't know, things to look at. All right. I'm just going to pop that one up there. Nice and straight, or as straight as I can. Love these library cards. Now this one, going to have to get another glue sheet, I think, because this one's going to be very glued because nothing's getting time to dry between times. And again, we'll just tip that one over there. This one's got lines so that we can make sure we're nice and straight. And then this one, and he'll tuck over and over and over each one. And that'll go in there like that. I don't want to lose that writing, so I'm just going to go just above that and try and straighten him up. Right, there's that one. Move that ink so that I don't lean that on there. Down to our bottom section. And I want to make a pocket. So, my pocket, the page that I've used for that one, if I can find it here, right, is technically the front of the journal. So this is page 1 in that Mix and Match Mini Journals kit. So this is the butterfly journal cover. But for me, I wanted some of this, This is the little bit that I use on my cigar band, and I use some of this later on as well. So we're going to use some of this bit here, and so I've already cut that out to fit just there. So he's been cut out, he's been inked, and I should have laid that down again. And I'm just going to add a little bit of lace, mainly because where it's the journal kit, and you make your journal just straight from this, it's got that folded edge pattern in it. For me, oh, that's wonky, Kylie. For me, of course, I didn't want that bit in there. So, and to get the size that I required out of these pages, I'm going to lay that down because that's getting really hard. Lay you there. If you look, so see how it's got this? So I've just used a little bit of lace. Sit you there. Now, you'll see that I'm pushing that in again. Okay. Because I need to be able to fit, let's have a look, this one. I need to be able to fit that book down there. So I'm just going to use him as a practice. If you're actually doing this for real, does that make sense? I need more glue on that anyway. I would put this pocket on last, after you've done your little mini book. Okay? Because then you can actually size it and stick it on over your little mini book. Because it needs to have that little bit of oomph in there for it to sit in, because it's quite thick. All right. This one's going to sit on here. And here's another pocket. Actually, I'm going to put my glue on first. My glue. Not my glue, my lace. Now, this is just a piece of old lace that's been dyed. But again, it's got these beautiful colourings in it. And what I've done is, I'll chop that just there. It will cover that section. Get rid of that one. Put my pin back in there so that I know where it is. Sit you over there, and then I can double check that I've got the correct size here. Trim that back a little bit, just a little bit. Right. And I just want a thin bead, if I can, just down here. Oh, well. A thick bead. And I'm going to set that on so that it actually goes out into the pocket. Like so. You notice I go quiet when I'm putting my lace on, because I'm trying to concentrate on getting it straight. Now we'll pop our little admit one ticket on, and that's just going to become a pocket, but I'm going to go up along that one. If I can get my glue to come out, you can tell that we've hit autumn. It's the 2nd of March, summer's gone. How sad. Love summer. Right. I'm just going to keep that on its side now. So now it's the time for the glues to start getting cold. They won't work. All right. And of course, just again, from all of this is from this. I should have 2 of those. And I'm just going to use those ones to tuck in like that. Right? Technically, there is our outside cover. Done. Our book. Now, excuse me. Here we go. Here's our book. Now, with our little book, what I want to do is cover the outside, cover the inside, all right? But we're going to pop a window in here. So for what we're going to do for that, with my little window, and again, with those, where are they? Come here, guys. What I'm looking for are my butterflies. My butterflies. Do I have them in here? There, all right? These are these butterflies. Do you want to know the best thing about these butterflies? They are exactly the same, as in that side to that side, which means you can get two butterflies, cut them out, and join them together, which gives you a double facing, a front and a back in your butterflies. So, am I looking for the... No, it's this little baggie. So what I've done is I've laminated one. Look at that. They match perfectly, which means you can do windows in them. Okay, now this little one, I've just got a pack of business or credit card size laminating pouches. They're great for when I'm just doing these and I just want to do one or two items without having to put through an entire laminating sheet. So we're going to go onto our grey one. If I can get him out. So this is what we're going to use for our little book, and that is page 8. So our little book, well, I'll get both of these, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, both of these out of the one sheet, which is just awesome. So, because I want to do the inside and the outside. Okay, so I'm going to glue this bit down and then I can do my inside. But beforehand, we've got to put our little window in it. That's had time to dry a little bit, so we'll do our outside first. Make sure we're all the way down to our edges. Make sure it comes off your glue sheet. Setting that up there. Again, I'm just going to give that a little bit because you never know with my cutting, especially early in the morning. So while that's still wet, I'm just folding it back over in case it needs to pull back on itself. Okay. So, and as you can see, I'd given that a little bit of an edge, and now it's taken that edge away. So we're going to trim that one. We're going to find a pair. We're going to find a ruler, just here. Right, straight down there, along that one. And across the top. So here's our outside for our little... Done. I'm going to ink around that one. See what I mean about how manila folders make it so easy. You need to be able to give it a little bit of sturdiness, which is why we're not just using our paper, our copy paper that I've printed on, or even, because every now and again I will use presentation paper, which is a little bit thicker, but you need something that's going to have that stability. So that's where I like the manila folder. Instead of having to go and get some cardstock, it's already folded. It's already gluey too. Right, here's our little, so I want this round about here. So you can see it can't be the full width, which means I need to cut this one round about there. Like so. I'm just going to sit that on there. Now, trimmer, a guillotine, probably more than a trimmer. Laminate can be hard to cut. Again, see what I mean? See how it wants to slide? Let's go for the guillotine. Move all my doobies. I'm going to sit that in there. Now, cover your ears because it makes an... No, it didn't. All right. I was trying to be good. All right. There's this one. That'll fit in here beautifully with our window with enough room to adhere it down. So, the easiest way to do this is turn it over to the inside, laying him back down. All right, work out vaguely where you want this to be. So I want it not half, not the top, about 3/4 of the way up. I've centered it. And I know before you say anything that this is the full size and that won't work. But what I'm doing is marking the size that that is. So from there, I want to go in just a little bit, which is really just my thin double-sided tape width. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So now the square that I want to cut out is that inside square, because that will allow me to put double-sided tape all the way around and still have my butterfly showing. So what we'll do, I need that one again in a minute. We'll use this one. And what we're going to do, I need to just make sure I've got my edges there so I know where I'm stopping. Okay, just like so. So, down here. This is why you need a blade that is nice and sharp. Don't go all the way to the edge if you don't want to, if you're worried about stopping, because you can go back and go into those spots. So I'm putting that where that is. Back up there. Putting that blade right there. And over. So you can see on this side that I haven't quite gone to each of them. So now I'm going to turn it round and just go into that edge. So now I'm going back the other way and I'm joining my lines back up. Okay? Like so. That should now just pop out. That's what you want to do. There it is. So we want to ink in our edges there. It also means that if you've gone a little bit wonky with your cutting, it's not going to show as much. Right, so this is now, of course, going to adhere with some double-sided tape all the way around the edge there. But if we do that straight away, and we want to attach that, how do we cut this out? So what we're going to do, we're going to sit this piece on, making sure we've got enough room. Ooh. We're going to go that way, okay? We're going to sit this piece on anywhere we like, because that's where it'll be glued down. We're going to get our pencil. I'm going to just follow around there. Sharp pencil works the best because then you end up with the actual line that you need to cut. There's our cutting line. And now what we're going to do is cut this guy out again and work our way around. Down there. And into that one. That should be all four, shouldn't it? Apart from our corners. And that's... So I will usually just leave them a bit because then I can go back. And that way I haven't actually gone over my lines and ended up with those cut edges going further out. Right. There's that. Once again, ink the edges of that. Just to give them a little bit of a... Well, if nothing else, it matches then up with everything else that you've got going on. Right. So, the house is stirring. I hear a cough. This one. There you go. So, now we have that. So from that, we can now stick in our little butterfly. Finding the edge. So I've just gone with the really narrow because this book is not that big. I can just pop this in, work my way around my window. So now we will tape our little butterfly in. Sit there, Kylie. And then we will tape over it again because that's going to back onto our other side. Make sense? Watch and all will be revealed. Chop that bit off, chuck that bit away. I'm thinking. Right, so front, pick out which side you want. So I've got two different coloured butterflies there. This one's going to go in here like that, which means what I'm going to do, peel all these off. How are we going for time? Oh, wow, there you go. I need to get rid of that bit. And just evened over it. Right, there we go. There's that. Once again, tape over this because we want this tape more than glue, just glue on there, because the tape will hold it down better, and you don't want this thing ending up, sliding down, coming adrift. So our little book, once we've got these on, is self-explanatory. We don't need to make that. We'll go through the other one because that is just literally, I've just used packing paper because I keep all that from work, but you can use coffee dyed paper, you can use anything. You can use those beautiful pages from the Pages kit. I don't know why I'm taking that off. I need to glue the rest of this. Okay, and then we're going to stick him down. So the whole of this bit now can be glued. I'm actually going to, what I'm going to do, make sure I'm all the way along there. What I'm going to do, because this is so narrow down here, I'm going to put another strip of double-sided tape down there because I will never get my glue down there. I will, but my word, I'll make another big mess. All right. Peel those ones off. Try not to put glue all over your acetate, she says, as she puts fingerprints all over it. Right, I can see that's already starting to... Right, so now what we want to do is that. Match him up with there. That's it. Turn that over. Give that a good push. What you've done is created a window very easily. Like so. Going to bend that over into that one. Look at that. So now we'll trim this one up. And down here. And you've got a very easy, beautiful little window. Now, when you're doing windows like this, you do need to watch what you've popped in there, because a lot of our elements and things like that and our ephemera that we use are single-sided, especially when we're using digitals. So this is where these sorts of ones, these butterflies, work so well, because they can be actually attached to each other. They are exactly the same left and right, and they will make that. I'm just going to bend that back a little bit, put that in there, make sure all that's glued down. There we go. How's that? So with our few minutes that we've got left, we'll decorate the front of our book, nice and easy. And we've got all those pre-cut out, so that's what I mean. Out of those sheets again. So, out of this sheet, all my numbers, my wording, and then out of my original sheet, which I should have put here, which I did put here, and then I've taken it away. There it is. All right. Page 1, look. So here is this, because I love this stitching. So I just want this to sit in here. We will glue that on. We'll find a slightly non-glued area. New glue stick. Look at the mess that I just created. Awesome, Kylie. Now, there's no reason, if you wanted to, why you couldn't pop a pocket on the front of this as well. You just need to watch your thickness. Ooh. You just need to watch your thickness for getting it back into that pocket. This is, oh, look. This is atrocious, Kylie. Right. It is kind of straight. I want a little specimen going in down there. Again, just offset each other. Put those scissors away, because I keep landing on them. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed making this. Please go over to WhichCraft Do You Do and have a look at their beautiful digitals, but not just their digitals. Have a look at their stamps, their stencils, their ephemera packs, their lace packs, they beautiful packs of hand-dyed fabrics and papers and all of this. Yeah, just, oh, actually, I'll show you the latest one that I'd got, latest stamp set that I'd got from them. Was a month or so ago, I suppose. My stamps have all been sorted, but I still have the front cover of it. And that is that one, full of all these dates. Love it, love it, love it, love it. You know me, I use my letters, my numbers and all the rest all the time. If you don't want to, if you're not a stamper, let's say you're not a stamper and you don't want to go into all that, well, it's all on this sheet as well. All these numbers. They also, in their digitals, will have word sheets. They'll have all of that sort of thing. Is that straight? Yeah, look at that. Right. So, time limit wise, I'm going to pull out the other one. Magic, it's done. These are just packing paper. And all I've done is I've just grabbed a few. Don't even know how many sheets I've got in there. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Different sizes. They're all the same width, but they're different heights. It just depended on how I've got. I have given them a standard 3-hole pamphlet stitch where I've doubled some crochet cotton, glued it into here so it won't unravel. And then again, everything that I had left from that element sheet, well, not everything because I've still got more left from it. It's got so much in there. I have just used bits and bobs from this sheet. Okay, so I've got this one. Oh, speaking of that one, that little stamp is that one. So there you go. That's that. We'll just go through it all. Of course, my numbers, because I'd cut all these out to start with. Now, these ones are the only ones I haven't mentioned. So what we're going to do for that, and I had my little butterflies. So back to our butterflies. This sheet. So yes, I've cut my butterflies out. I've double-sided them. All sorts of ways. These ones, I've just trimmed around here, made it a pocket. See what I mean about having your blade sharp? Sharp blade. This is a tag sheet that's in this kit as well. Now, this is the tags. This is the size that they print, which for me, because I just wanted them in that, I wanted smaller ones. I then printed as though my paper was A5. So I just told my printer that I had A5 paper in there and they've printed at this size, which for me worked an absolute treat. And all you do with these guys, I just find them because they're sitting here. Right, this is my little packet to go in here. Cut them out, glue them, fold them, which gives you a little bit more stability, and ink around, and then they just fit straight in those pockets. Okay, so look, they are the right size to go into these. So that's that one. Again, a few more of our words. Just the numbers that I had left over. That is that sheet, but all I've done is I've torn around that. So I've just torn down here and then straight down here and popped it in there. So it's just a way of looking at your papers. So these are just little bits that I had left over. This one, I've used one of my butterflies again. and I've cut him actually out and adhered him onto that because I realised that I had the two numbers together. So I needed to cover up one slightly to make it a little bit different. Another one of those pockets. And this time I had a little bit of scrap of that left, so I've just adhered that one onto it because otherwise it would have been, which one was it? That one. So that's the tag, and I had a little piece of that left, and I've just popped that straight onto it. And that's it. So, and that one will go into, let's find one. Let's find one. Here's one. All right, that one will now go down there like that. That closes over. Very quickly, let's just sort this out. And then some of the other sheets, tuck that in there because I will finish this off at some stage. One of the other sheets that we get in this one is our bands, which will actually be in that one. There it is. All right. So we get corner tucks, we get bands as well. And all I've done for my band is I've used this one, but I've trimmed it down a little bit narrower. Okay. Just a little bit narrower. And then once this is finished and you've got the thickness of your journal in there, then you will wrap this around. Okay, so you'll trim it down and adhere it so that you know that it will slide over the thickness of this. You don't want to just do it when it's, here's one I prepared earlier, literally, just a little while ago. So this is a lot thinner, of course, than when it's got its thing in. So if I made that to that one so that it'll slide off that one, there is no way known it's going to go onto that one. So make sure you do your little cigar band afterwards, once you've actually got your journal in there. Okay, and then I've just used that, which was on the first page again. There it is, just here. Okay, so I've just trimmed there and there, and then tore down my ends to make the front for my cigar band. They are so easy. It just begs to be played with. And as I said, 28 pages. I've used very few of those 28 pages. I will be using more in the coming weeks, months, days. But it is just gorgeous. They do have a couple of different kit ones in there as well. So if this is not your thing, as in your colours, have a look. Go through all their digitals. Have a look at them. I've fallen in love. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for bearing with me for my 1 hour and 3 minutes so far. Hit a like if you're still with me. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Till next time, happy crafting. Bye.